The next section of the dungeon is the outdoors of Molor. The players will arrive here through the dimensional chamber on the very left, entering through its northern gate. The very first thing they would notice is the actual landscape of the place. It's a depressing kind of a desert made up of mustardy yellow and brown kind of sand that gives off a horrible sulfuric stench to the point where the players would want to look through squinted eyes and breathe through their teeth at this point. In the distance, you can see that there are soil or rock formations that are not too different from coral reefs and the like, and in the very distance in the horizon, it's completely filled with a rising, very tall dust storm brewing there. The sky is also filled with clouds that look more like a dust storm, but there's also demonic beings flying through the sky. Gargantuan manta ray-looking beings that are deathly white and have underbellies that are rippled the same way the surface of a brain would be rippled, and on their undersides there are tiny little fleshy, red, veiny kind of octopus-like squids that behave like remora fish do, with manta rays sticking to their underbellies and feasting off of whatever remnants they leave behind from their eating. Also, when the players look around, they will notice the ginormous Weeping Palace on their right. The Weeping Palace appears like a ginormous top half of an egg sticking from the ground. The top section of the egg is cracked to the point where you can see tops of buildings, of a kind of castle-like structures, poking out from inside the egg kind of layer, and the side of the egg has the face of a skull on it, and that section is where all this wall section that the players are on is attached to. The surface also has a texture that reminds the players of like skeletal features like spinal columns and rib cages and the like, which is also covered with this translucent film or webbing or silk that's flowing in the desert wind. Now, on this wall that's about 100 feet off the ground, this 10-foot wide wall, there is a stairway that leads about 30 feet down that leads to an intersection. Now, there's a scene going on in this intersection as the players arrive. There are those veiny red squids attacking a warrior who's clad in black armor. And once the players arrive and witness this through their squinted eyes, it's already too late. This warrior's fate is sealed as they see it gruesomely be sucked dry by the squids before they fly off, unless of course the players provoke them to the point where they are they get the chance to fight these squids that killed this warrior. The point is that once the players enter this intersection here, they are able to go through the dead warrior's belongings and investigate him. He is clad, like I said, from head to toe in black armor that looks to be made of black iron. It's very heavy, but also incredibly skinny enough to the point where no player character, no matter how skinny they would be, could fit this armor on them. Plus, it would weigh a ton. The helmet could be used, but the helmet has no eye holes, because as they remove it, they notice that the humanoid wearing this armor is a very skinny, quite tall humanoid that has no eyes, it has no nose, it has a kind of a slit-like mouth, and on its neck there are gill-like red kind of slits and crevices that it seems to breathe and filter the kind of air that it's taking in. But it's a kind of very alien-looking humanoid. But on its person there is something. There is a weapon that it was wielding when trying to fend off the squids. It's a iron Morning Star that's a magical item. It's completely black and very skinny, much like those black iron pokers that you would find that fireplaces are equipped with, but on the head of it there's a tiny ball with spikes, rather skinny and long spikes, and the ball has mineral veins on it, mineral veins that are the color of champagne gold. And if someone attunes to this or casts Identify on it, they would discover that it is a cold iron star, a morning star that has the +1 quality about it, and also a quality where a roll of 19 is considered a critical hit, just as a roll of 20 would. Also on his belt, he has a container that's roughly the size of a salt shaker. It's made out of some sort of a thick glass-like substance that is also very smoky black, and it has a top lid on it. If the players remove the lid, they can see that inside the interior is also covered in a texture that is champagne gold colored and kind of ripply, like some sort of a gold mineral in the wild. And inside there are 10 black berries. Now, if they get in tune with this item, they would discover that it is called the Iron Mana, and it is an item that can produce the effect of Good Berry once a day. And this is a critical item for the players. If they somehow miss this, you must pretty much embed this somewhere else close by, because there is no water or food to eat for mortal beings in this place. So this is their one and only survival tool, unless they have other supernatural abilities that help in that effect. But this is a way for the players to get sustenance, food and water equivalent, in the form of good berries. Now, this spot is a crossroad, and simply arriving here will provoke an attack from the squids flying above. The manta ray-like beings don't care. The humanoids are way too small to be like in their radar as like a target or food or anything like that. But for the squids, they will dive bomb down, and about 10 squids will dive down to attack the players at this spot. If the players provoked the squids that were killing this ironclad warrior, then you don't need to have another school of them dive down, but there's going to be 10 of them, and they're going to be using the stats of a Sturge from the monster manual, the kind of fleshy bat-like creature that drinks your blood and attaches itself to you, and the only difference will be that it's going to be a fiend. These are all demons in this place. But once the players are dealt with them, there's going to be a choice. There's three places to go to at this stage. There is a stairway leading 50 feet downwards to the skull's nose that looks to be some sort of a dungeon-like cellar entrance into the palace. Then there's the main entrance through the eye socket that looks to be something much more of a where like eyes are going to be on you more or less, but it's going to be a kind of a direct approach. And then on the northern side, the wall has crumbled through to due to some sort of a high impact crash that's come down, that's created almost like this canyon going up north in the soil, and the way there is littered with similar dead bodies as the ironclad warrior here on the wall, and none of the dead bodies on the way are going to have any equipment that survived. It looked like they suffered such a high impact crash coming down that their armor, their helmets, or anything on their belts or anything like that is salvageable. They would have all had the similar salt shaker like a Goodberry Iron Mana item, but it's all broken with every single one of them. But their stream of corpses and this canyon is clearly leading to some sort of a site where it looks like almost some sort of a meteorite or something has crashed to the ground. Now that's going to be the first place we're going to go to from here, but this is a clear crossroads with 3 places to go.